he kind of was like, I'm being too sophisticated. Um,
Ooh, that's an interesting way to
yeah, he
put it.
wanted me to dumb my writing down a little
Yeah.
bit.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mic'd Up Podcast. My name is Kaya. I am an author, an entrepreneur, and a poet. And today I have with me an author of authors, y'all. I am so excited for this guest to be on here. Um, we'll get into her series just a little bit later, but I have with me the author of the award-winning best-selling book Soul Ties. Miss Candice is in the virtual building. How are you feeling today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. So we are going to get right into your bio and then we're going to get right into this Q&A, child. So let's go ahead and start. All right. So Miss Candice is a best-selling author from the east side of Detroit, Michigan. Her debut novel, If Not for Love, was published on Amazon in 2014, marking the beginning of a remarkable literary career. Over the years, she has demonstrated dedication to her craft by producing a staggering collection of over 50 books, with several securing their place on the Amazon bestsellers lists. Her latest and most popular series, Soul Ties, stands as a testament to her storytelling prowess. With a palpable passion for her craft, Miss Candice invites readers into worlds rich with emotion and connection, making her a vibrant force in the world of Black romance literature. Very nice. And happy 10-year anniversary
Thank
also.
you. Thank you.
All right. Does it seem like it's been 10 years?
Really, it doesn't because I thought I had crazy expectations for this point. I was like, oh my God, what would I be doing? Am I still going to be writing? Like 10 years? It seemed
Yeah.
like a crazy different world back then, but now it's like, girl, you still writing.
Yeah, it goes by fast when you look
Yeah.
back. All right. So my first question is what I like to ask all authors is for you to tell us before you started getting it, before you got into writing or published your first book, what were you doing before then? What?
Before then, I was writing, but if I can go back, like way back to
Mhm.
early 2000s, excuse me, so early 2000s, I was writing on fan fiction boards. So right now, I guess it's like Wattpad.
Okay.
Back
Okay.
then, it was like fan fiction, B2K, Bow Wow, Trey Songs. I was writing little stories like that. And
Okay.
I mean, a really long time ago. I don't even know. It had to be early 2000s, like really early 2000s.
Mhm.
And I was writing in script form at first, and then I got into reading books, and I seen how to structure an actual book, and then I started writing in story format. And the book that I published, if Not for Love, that story was actually originally posted on the message board. So
Oh.
what I did was I took every little, because like it's literally like a message board, like a
Mhm.
forum.
Yep.
It's literally me posting.
Right.
Yeah, so I went in there and I took all of my entries from
And
the
you
post.
did.
I had a lot of comments and I had readers and fans over there too. And that story had gotten moved to they call it WOW, um, like a WOW area of the storyboard.
Okay.
And so it was really popular. And I ended up just taking every little entry off of there and I put it in the Word document. But it took me a while to actually try to get a book published. At first, I was just going to just write for fun.
Hmm.
I submitted to, I think, one publisher, didn't hear anything back. And I was like, you know what, just forget it. I'll just keep writing for fun. But at that point in my life, it was around 2013. And I wasn't doing the storyboards anymore. They had kind of died out. And
Hmm.
I didn't know anything about Amazon or KDP or anything. I was just writing for fun because that's what
Right.
I love to do. So then I stumbled across a post from someone looking for submissions, and I say, you know what? I guess I'll just try again because I really wasn't trying to be published. It's just like I I'll just try again. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm still going to write because I just love to do it.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what I was doing. And I
Wow.
worked in the hospital for a little while. To go back a little further, before the storyboard, I used to I wrote a little poetry. Like I've always been like creative.
Right.
But you know, in between writing the stories just for fun and actually getting published, I was working in the hospital as a patient care associate.
Patient care associate.
Assistant, yeah.
Okay. Well, working in the medical field is a stressful environment, I'm sure. Did you feel that writing was like your release during that period?
No.
No?
You know what I did? I wasn't really in it for too long. I've always been really ambitious. Even when I had a job, I was searching for jobs. Like for example, when I got into the hospital, I walked in as a housekeeper, but I had the credentials to be a PCA. But I said, you know what, I'm getting my foot in the door and then I'm gonna, so I've always been, ambitious. So it's like when it comes to the writing, in the hospital, I was working like contingent hours. So it really didn't get to me like as much because I really wasn't there. It wasn't really stressful. Writing has just always been an escape for me, period. I just enjoy it. So it's like I didn't leave the hospital and just go home. It's like, oh God, I need to escape. No, I didn't really think about it like that. I just did it.
Just did it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on when you decided to take writing seriously is when you saw someone looking for submissions, and that was in 2014?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, since you've been writing published for 10 years, obviously your writing has changed over those years with maturity and different life circumstances. How early on do you feel like you found your voice, like you found your style, or do you feel like that's ever evolving?
Okay, so with writing and with, being here as a human, period, we evolve, we grow every day. But as far as writing goes, when I first submitted my book to the publisher, my writing style for that book had changed already. Because like I said, that book was the story on the storyboard, but it was so good and everybody enjoyed it. And it's like urban fiction. I said, you know what, let me just see about this. But by then I had already found my voice. But then I got with another publisher and I tried to really step into my new voice. And he kind of was like, I'm being too sophisticated.
Ooh, that's an interesting way.
Yeah, he wanted me to dumb my writing down.
Yeah.
So I didn't really dumb my writing down. What I did was I had a mixture of me and what he was asking for in there. But in a sense, my voice was still a little muffled because of what he told me I needed to do to succeed in the urban romance genre. Urban fiction. I feel like it's the same, like kind of in the same bubble. It quieted me a little bit, and it had me questioning a lot of what I was doing. And it's kind of like conditioning, because when someone tells you, oh, you write really good, you write sophisticated, but it doesn't work in this market. The way you're writing isn't going to generate sales. So you need to dial back a little bit. So when you are writing for both passion and for financial gain, you're going to be like, oh God, well, let me just chill out a little bit on using this type of this word usage, and just switch it a little bit, or don't be so poetic. Just dial back a little bit because it's too sophisticated. So I was in my head a lot. So I've always kind of had my voice after, once I got the publishing deal, but I had to dial back. But I didn't really I can't even say that I really stepped into my full voice when I went independent, because a lot of what he taught me was still stuck in my head. There was a lot of conditioning that I had to break free from. So really, I didn't really step into completely who I am and comfortable with what I was writing and just putting out the work that I wanted to put out until maybe, sadly, probably until like 2000 2020.
Oh, during like almost pandemic time.
Yeah, and that's like because I started to just, like I said, I've always had pieces of who I really am in my books. But I was afraid to break free of what I was taught by him. But and I think it was a drug called you. A drug called you. I stepped fully into my voice. I embraced my sophistication. I was poetic. I was everything that I am today. And that from then on. And I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna do what's best for me. And what's for me is for me. And I'm going to gain my following by being authentic before anything else.
So my question is, what do you feel was the force that made you say, when you decided you're going to do you're going to write what you want to write, you're going to be authentic? What was it that made you kind of snap into it and say, I'm just going to do me? Was it something that happened, or you just got tired of not putting yourself out there the way you wanted, or what?
It's been a journey. It's been such a journey with this, and I get emotional sometimes when I think about it, because it's like I had this period in my career where I was like, what am I doing? And I just felt like no one was really reading. I was independent too. And it's this story, Married to the Connect. I love it so much, but I had so much of the reader's voice in my head where you're like, oh my God, part 5, are you not done yet? And it's like, I really wasn't done with the book. I had so much more left to say, but I let them dictate when I finished. And at a point, it just gets to like, I feel restricted like this.
Yeah.
There's something inside of me that just wants to break free. And now when I write, oh my God, it's such an amazing feeling. It's like I feel it. I always say in my books, I say I wrote this from the soul, because I truly do. And it's like I wasn't feeling this then. I had the feeling of, oh my God, I love what I do. And I've had like chills and stuff, but I didn't feel this.
Right.
And it's such an amazing feeling to just be authentic and be myself. And I just got to a point where it was like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. And when I put it out there, it's going to do what it's going to do.
Right.
Because from the beginning of this thing, I was writing for absolutely nothing. It just really was a trust thing, trust within myself, trust with God, just trust in general, because I know that I'm on the right path and there is no way that this isn't going to work, especially with me being authentic and true to who I am.
Yes, I feel like when people, just in anything that they're doing, when they begin to be their true authentic selves, that's when they start to get the response and the support and the love that that they deserve. I guess that's the best word, that they deserve. Because if, like you said, if you're writing for someone else, it's just like the people who like it, or they're really
You're
not.
You're always going to be like a prisoner or something. You always want to be like, you're going to be like a puppet, really.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because this is a topic I really want to talk about. I'm kind of camera shy, but I really, really want to talk about staying authentic and being authentic in this industry in general. Like, since I'm a writer, I'm going to say about books, but authenticity is important, period. But it's really important to stay authentic because you're doing this for you. Because I see so much in the industry with the new authors coming in, and they're just so lost, and they're trying to follow trends, and they're trying to do what everyone else is doing, and I'm just looking like, baby, just do what you want to do. Just do you.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, sometimes that takes age and maturity in order for you to get to that point. So I understand what you're saying, but if you're like younger, I don't want to put an age out there, but if you're like younger and you're just trying to figure it out, you go with the trend. I can understand that. But I think as you get older, you live more life, you have more experiences, you realize that the choices you make, you have to sit within yourself, is when you start thinking, this really isn't what I want to be doing. You start having those conversations with yourself. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I get you.
It's just like, I just see them and they're just like, oh my God, how do I'm not writing because I can't finish this book because it's not 100,000 words. And it's like, please don't worry about that, honey.
Yeah.
Just put your book
Just
out.
put it out
That's
there.
what really gets me. And it's like, don't let what's going on around you influence you to a point where you are stifling who you are and what you want to do. Release it. Like I just noticed certain things, and you're right. It's a learning process. And because I've learned so much, and I see so much, and it's like I just want them to just
Right.
relax a little bit. Just
Right.
relax a little bit and just let it flow and you'll be okay.
Right. I get what you're saying. I
Mm.
really do. Um, in what ways, and you're touching on this right now, other than being authentic, what ways do you feel that writing has helped you grow personally?
A lot of ways, especially with the soul theory. Oh my goodness. It's kind of like self-therapy in a
Hmm.
way. Because as I say, I'm a free writer. I don't plan when I write. So as I'm writing,
Oh,
things are just coming to me. So
right.
it's like, oh my God, this is getting a little what? So I learned a lot about myself. As
Mhm.
crazy as it might sound, I'm healing myself. Um, but yeah, that's really what it's been like. It's just overall growth and just with the in the industry that I'm in general. What I've noticed about my writing, about me is that like it's the industry. It's kind of the same from 10 years ago, sadly, as far as the way that they do things, the people in it. The readers are they don't know what they want. So really, that's another thing that I want to talk to the new authors about. Like, stop trying to please them readers and do what you want to do because they don't know what they want. They say they want this and they want that. What do you? So
Mhm.
it's like really, I've learned to just really take care of myself with my writing.
Mhm.
I've healed myself with my writing. I've grown. I've gotten so connected with it. I'm very connected with my characters in my books. It's so crazy. People will be like, girl, so I don't care. I'm sitting here crying with them because I feel her pain.
Right, right, right.
So yeah,
Why did you choose romance as your genre? And are there any other genres you would like to step into?
I really like this question because
You, you
I
said,
like this
oh,
question.
you like it.
I
Okay.
like it. Yeah. I chose romance because I believe that Black love is beautiful.
Mm.
And also because the type of romance I write about isn't just romance. It's kind of like it's romance, but it's struggled around building someone up. A lot of people say, "Can't you take your characters through it?" It's always they broken at the beginning. Yeah, I like to build them. I want to give them a. I want to turn a rocky foundation to something solid. So yeah, they're gonna go through some stuff. They're gonna start out broken and confused because a lot of us are in real life. A lot of us are going through things. What story is going to start off beautiful? It's like, then what am I going to write about? So, I like to write about the romance aspect of it because, like I said, I don't write the typical romance. I write kind of like urban romance in a way. And in that sense, it's like I want to show people from what places that are deemed ugly or dark or less than poverty or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That you can have a beautiful love story too. You can have this fairy
Yeah.
tale love story too. We deserve princess queen treatment too. We
Right.
deserve someone who loves us unconditionally. We deserve to love ourselves unconditionally. We deserve to heal, and we can have nice things. We can accomplish our goals and things like that. So I want to just highlight Black love because, like I said, to me, Black love is beautiful. It has a deeper meaning. I mean, love is beautiful on every aspect, but to me, Black love is really beautiful because of the stigma that has been placed on it. So
Mm.
I like to write about that. Like, that's why. And
Okay.
as far as the other genres, it's funny because I don't the only I won't say box. The only box I am okay with putting myself into like genre is romance, right?
Mhm.
But I'm okay with stepping outside of like bending like the stepping out of blurring the lines a little bit. Like with
Okay.
Soul I wrote Infinite Soul Ties. Infinite Soul Ties is borderline, I guess you could say sci-fi or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's about parallel versions of Sienna and Jihad meeting on in different realities outside of this, like in a parallel universe,
Oh,
but it's still
wow.
romance. And with me, I like to just have fun. Writing to me is about creative expression, and I don't
Right.
want to be restricted in any way. I wrote about a ghost, but there was a romance. I wrote about, like I said, the parallel universes. I just want to have fun. So I don't know.
Yeah. You
I just
love
have fun with
the central idea of love and romance and
yeah,
people.
and
Yeah,
mhm,
that's in your heart. So
yeah.
yeah, that's
So
where your creativity lives and thrives. I get you.
yeah. So
Okay.
like genres, I don't know. Like I probably would, like I said, like with the whole thing, the infinite soul ties. I did a little bit of dabbling with realities and stuff like that. But that's, to me, it's still romance, even
Yeah.
though it is like on another,
Right.
but I don't
Okay.
know.
Get you. Yeah, I get you. I write romance as well, and I can't. I don't think I would. Well, let me say. Let me pause myself. I don't really have a desire to write anything else because I love. Like, I just love the romance, the people coming together, them building each other up, they're figuring out the problems. Like, I love that as well. I love that as well. All right. So in Soul Ties, the first for book one of Soul Ties, there's some very heavy content in that book. A lot, very heavy content that one wouldn't necessarily pair with a romance story. Just like you were saying, you could still have love despite it all. Now, after writing things that are so heavy, how do you decompress yourself? Because you, as a writer myself, I understand that characters have to come through you,
Mhm.
and you give a lot of yourself into those characters and into that process, and it can drain you. And when you're writing content as heavy as you did in the first book, how do you decompress? Like, make sure you're taken care of after that.
Sadly, I really didn't. I get this question a lot, and I'm starting to think I should, because of how connected I am with my characters, and how I really feel as I'm writing them scenes. I'm sitting here boo-hoo crying with them. I'm not even like I'm not like slight tears. I am boo-hoo crying. I am feeling the pain. I'm literally feeling the emotions of them, the emptiness, I'm feeling it, but I don't really decompress. I might stop writing for a while. I don't know, but I don't really. There is no process for me to really like ground myself or get myself back into Miss
Right.
Candice. And I don't really do it, and maybe I should, because this Soul Tie series has been like heavy, like really heavy, and I really haven't like done anything to really, I guess, cleanse myself of the
Right.
emotions that I've been like feeling for them. Mm.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel as if you are cleansing yourself as you're writing because you're going through it with the characters? And at the end, you're getting the characters to where they need to be. So now you feel like you're good now. Do you think you go through the process as well? So when it's over, you don't really need to do anything else because you got it through.
More so with book three with Naoki, because she and I, we have a lot of similarities with vulnerability and a lot of other things too. So, when I was writing her scenes and I would cry and stuff like that. And then oddly, with the book I just released for the Infinite Soul Ties, it's like a short, the last story with letting go and stuff like that. I was sitting here crying a few times.
Mm,
So yeah, it's kind of like a release, because I don't really allow myself the space to cry a lot. It's weird, I mean, as weird as it might sound. With vulnerability, I don't even like to be vulnerable with myself. Like, I don't like to express. If I'm crying, I'd be like, okay, get it together. None
mm.
of that. So when I'm writing and stuff, it is like a cleanse. It is. Yeah, that's a moment to look at it. So yeah.
Alrighty. Can you give us some insight into the process of your writing? Like, how do you come up with characters, storylines, situations? How do you come up with that?
Um, I guess I can just go back to soul time since we're going to be talking about it.
Mhm.
I don't really plan. I don't do an outline or anything. I just literally freestyle as I'm writing. But when I come up, like I come up with like I guess you could say foundation of what I want to do. But with Soul Ties, it was interesting because I didn't know where I was really going with that story. At the beginning, I came up with the storyline, I think in 2021, and I was inspired by seeing a doula on a reality show. I said, okay, well, I want to write about a doula. And I said, well, what is she going to do? I said, okay, well, I'll write about a guy that was given a hard pass. That's the only thing I had for that book. And I was trying to figure out how they was going to meet. And then I seen some inspiration
Oh, wow.
on Twitter or whatever. And then I said, oh, okay. So they're going to meet in this kind of way. And that's pretty much it. And as far as, like the nationality of Jihad, I don't really have any characters that are outside of African American as much. Like, so I wanted to kind of do something different with that. That's really just all that I do. I just sit there and type, and it just comes to me as I'm going.
Okay. Now, are you Haitian?
No.
You're not.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. My next question is, what has surprised you the most being a part of the literary community?
When I saw this question, I was battling with if I should answer it truthfully or if I should just say something else. But right now, I'm feeling like I need to tell the truth.
Okay. I'm here for the truth.
The division.
Oh.
Yeah, that surprised me because when I first came in, I was like, oh, bright eye, like, oh, look, all these authors, all these readers. But I learned really quick, like literally not even a year after being an author in the community, that, oh,
Yes.
I didn't know how this is. Let me just stay in my bubble.
Yes.
That's what I do. I stay in my bubble now. But so there is division, and it's heartbreaking to see. But it's the reality of it. It's kind of like high school a little bit. But, hopefully I can change that in some kind of way.
I understand. I agree. And, I think having conversations like this, bringing it to light can hopefully help because I do understand and I have experienced that as well. But, and I stay right to myself. I call it my own little corner of the internet. I do what I need to do and I move on.
Yeah.
So, but I get you. And I think that was a surprise to me too. That was a surprise to me too. So like you said, hopefully that is something that can change. Yeah.
And I've been in it for 10 years and I still feel like, hi y'all. No, but I still feel like an outsider sometimes. I'm trying to, but a lot of times it could just be me being guarded because of what I've noticed too. But I feel like it's probably safer to just be, like, okay, hi and bye. But like I said, I'm trying to change it a little bit.
Yep. I'm all about protecting my peace.
Mm-hmm.
All about protecting my peace. It's, part of what we do as authors, going out there, promoting our book, engaging with people, making people aware of what we have going on. But if that's your comfortability level, then it can just, to me, in my opinion, it can just stop there because, I'll just say it can just stop there.
Yeah, I'm just selective. I only really have one friend, and she used to be my author, and I'm fine with that relationship. But I'm okay with building business connections.
Yes,
absolutely fine. But other things, it's like, I don't know, it's just a big division, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'm heavy on protecting the peace. Heavy on protecting my peace for sure. Who or what encourages you to keep writing? We're talking about the literary community. Talking about the literary community, and there are different aspects to it. There's good, there's bad, there's indifferent. But what is it that personally keeps you writing?
If I could be honest, me.
Okay.
Because I keep myself going because this year has been pretty rough on me personally, but I keep going. I know I keep writing and stuff like that. Also because I'm really creative, and because I feel like the stories that I write resonate with so many people, and if they're helping me heal my issues, my struggles and stuff like that, I feel like someone else needs to read this story too. Because a lot of times people don't need to hear do this and do that. They want to be entertained, you know. And I feel like the best form of entertaining someone is to hide it in a book. I mean, to heal someone is to hide it in an entertaining book. So, it's like they're getting the messages, but they don't know they're getting the messages. So it's like certain things they might do throughout their day or whatever. They might experience an issue, and something that was in one of my books might like nudge them and help them get through it. Although it wasn't a direct thing where I'm like, do this or do that, but it's just a way. It's a way to do it or whatever. So that's why I write, because I can't be the only one going through these things. And I don't only write because I want to heal people. As I said, I'm a free writer. So a lot of times when I'm just writing, these things are just coming to me. And I feel like, let me just put this out here. And I also I want to change the narrative in a way. I feel like my books change the narrative. Because I do what I want to do as far as writing. And a lot of people don't do that. They're afraid to do things. And I'm going to bring it back to infinite sometimes, because that's a little crazy. Who does that in the urban romance community? Who does something like that? I'm a risk taker. And I want to just show people it's okay to take risks when you are like unsure of your place, or you can find your place by being authentic and taking risks. Do what you want to do, and it'll be okay. So, and that's in a sense of that just being true to who I am and being creative and being passionate about writing. That's what really keeps me going. And it's my full-time job or whatever. I need to do it for money and stuff like that, but I don't do it for money.
Right.
I do it because I am passionate about it. So, and I just have so many stories I want to tell, and it's just a lot inside of me that I want to just release, to just put out in the world. And the narrative I kind of want to change is that, all urban romance, Black romance is about struggle love and this and that. It's not.
Right.
It's not. But I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. But I hate that stigma. So I feel like with my stories, it kind of changes it a little bit. It kind of dilutes that stigma a little.
Right. Okay. Let's see. What has been what you feel has been the biggest writing career highlight for you so far?
Soul Ties.
Soul Ties?
Soul Ties, yes, because I had no idea that book was going to do what it did for me. I had no idea, because to me, it's just a simple, like, I didn't do too much with that story. Like I said, with the conditioning I learned, hey, this is against everything that I learned. I'm sophisticated, I'm poetic, I'm emotional. There is not much violence. There is not drug dealing as often. It might be mentioned, but it's not what fits the standard of what urban romance is depicted to be. So, and also I did a lot. I mean, I got a lot of emotions pulled out of me writing it. But there are so many times during that book I was like, what the hell are you doing? Stop, just don't write. Like, I wanted to stop. I didn't know what I was doing. I was confused. And then when I finished and I put it out, and I said, you know what? God, I'm leaving whatever happens with this book in your hand. Whatever happens, happens. And when people started to message me and stuff, I was like, what the hell did I put in that book? Because I didn't really try too hard. And it's like, I learned so much from that. Like, you don't have to try too hard. You don't have to try to do this and do that. You don't have to make sure you have a cliffhanger at every chapter. Right. You don't have to make sure you have depth and so much drama. And you don't have to. Just do what you want to do. It's flow.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, and I gained a lot, and it still blows my mind to this day that I'm still talking about this
So
book, and I've never had a book do this.
you're gonna always talk about soul ties. I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna always talk about it. Now that book went to audio. Did you choose the narrators for that? Because
Yeah.
Chef's Kiss.
I had help though from a reader because I don't do audiobooks, but she helped me out and she was like, I can help you find. I'm gonna send you some books, listen to them, and you should pick from these narrators. I said okay,
Yeah,
and I
whoever
picked
that
them.
is definitely they steered you
So I
right.
picked two of them. I
Okay.
didn't pick them.
Okay. But
Mhm.
still, yeah, excellent. Excellent
Thank you.
narration. Um, okay. So outside of writing, you have other things that you do. I went on your site and I saw that you have a publishing company. And you also put on an event, the Books, Brunch, and Mimosas event.
So Bliss Brunch Mimosas is it's a yearly event. I created it as a space for readers and authors to come together in an intimate setting.
Mhm.
It's a mix between like Black girl luxury and books, like bookish Black girls luxury.
Okay.
And when I said earlier, when I said I wanted to kind of change that the narrative, like the division between the industry, with my event, it's about fostering a real authentic connection.
Mhm.
I'm really selective with who I allow to come, so it's invite only because I don't want it to be. I want the vibes to be good. I
Yeah.
want us to come in and have a great time. And the last one was my chapter 2, and that was the first author event. The first one was just for me. It was a simple author meet and greet,
Okay.
and from that I decided to do that the invite other authors into the space, and it turned out great. It's really just about bridging the gap and showing that we can come together and we can have a classy event. Book events does not have to always be about a book signing when you're going to each table and they're trying to sell you books. No, you're gonna
Right.
come to a bunch of mimosas. You're gonna sit with your favorite author. You're gonna have some drinks, some good food. We're gonna have a panel. It's really about showing up looking good and having a good time and feeling
Yeah.
good.
The
And it's
pictures were
keeping memories.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really what it's about. I love like it's kind of like I guess you would say sisterhood, but
Right.
not really. I do want to take it a step further and make it like a group. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about that. But right now, that's what it's about. It's really about just forming a good connection between women who love books.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I said the pictures look beautiful. You all look like you had a good time. From the pictures that I have seen from your page and other people's pages who attended, like everything looked like you had really paid attention to every detail to
I
plan
did that.
it. Yeah,
I created every centerpiece myself
it showed. It
in the
showed.
books. For I did everything myself.
Like
My
the book
vision for this.
wrappings and everything. Yeah, it
Yep.
showed. Like everything turned out really well. So
Thank
congratulations
you.
on that. And what about, can you tell us about your publishing company? And do you also offer coaching?
I started it a long time ago. I think 2016 or 17. But then I disbanded. I closed it recently after I lost my I didn't lose her.
Oh,
She went on and went independent. My
oh, okay.
one of my she's my friend. We're really close friends. I look at her like a sister. London Lens. She ended up going independent after being with me for, I believe, since 2017. She went independent recently. And after that, it's kind of like the fun of it got sucked away because she
Um,
took really good advice. Like, she took my advice and she actually applied it to her career. So, it was like trial and error with the publishing company. I love to educate. I love to use the things that I've learned in my career and give it to people who are under me. But what bothers me, it does bother me, is when I'm preaching, or not preaching, but I'm teaching, and then I'm applying these efforts, and the person I'm talking to is not really utilizing it. It's not really a good balance of a business relationship. So like when she left, it kind of got like, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But
yeah.
recently, I really miss mentoring. I love mentoring, and I do have a mentoring service too. where you can you can hire me to help you further your career. But I really miss it. I miss the teaching and helping authors along their path. So I opened the doors again, and I'm really I'm selective with that too. I guess you could say picky, but I don't want to sign everybody. I don't. I'm looking for like specific things from writers. They don't have to be great writers, but I'm looking for specific things. And I do have 2 authors, but with one dropping soon. I think like probably next month. But yeah.
Okay. So, if someone is interested in working with you, they can just submit their information on your website, and you'll just have like a consultation with them.
Yeah, because I do I review, and I kind of know what I'm looking for honestly, probably by the 3rd paragraph. I know if it's a good fit or not, because I'm looking for specific things.
Right.
Like I said, not anything perfect, but and then I have like an interview process where I ask them a series of questions, and I see where their passion lies, like how passionate are you about it and stuff like that. And then I go from there.
Okay. Is that something the publishing company, did you see yourself doing that when you first started? Like, did you?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, because back on the storyboard, it's funny. We have production companies. It was really like a community of writers, and it was like we were just playing. It was just all play. Like
Right.
you would have like a story come out, and it would say something productions, but it's really just we just having fun. So yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
Y'all was manifesting. Y'all ain't even know.
Yeah, we didn't even realize that.
Y'all was manifesting for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
What advice would you give new authors or even experienced authors who are looking to grow their career?
Okay, so I know I talked about the staying authentic. That's one of the main things. And also, as far as writing or building their career?
Building their career, building their audience. If someone, you probably do get messages in your DMs asking for advice. Do you? What do you typically tell people?
Well, really, as far as the career goes, it's honestly a gamble. You can be authentic. You can write the greatest stories. You can do this. You can go out and buy business cards, bookmarks, and go place them everywhere, and hope, pray, beg God to give you the readers you want and stuff like that. But really, realistically, you gotta just trust the timing. Really, you gotta have patience. And if you are passionate, if writing is truly your passion, and you're not only in it for monetary gain, then you will be patient. You will bump your head a few times. You would figure out what works for you and not for anyone else. This thing that I adapted with myself to keep me grounded and focused on writing for me is anytime I would have a conflict within myself about a storyline or a plot, I would check in with myself. I would say, okay, who is this for? Them or you? And anytime it would be for them, I say, we're not doing that. We're gonna do what's for you. So I kind of quiet the outside noise. That's one of the things I say, okay, I'm gonna quiet the outside noise and just hone in with myself. Because if it's anything that I feel good about it for a reason. So it's really just about quieting the outside noise, relaxing, trusting divine timing. And there's really no hack. There's no marketing tool that's really going to get you the readers, because to be honest, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on advertising. The real key to like promotion is word of mouth. They got to talk about the book. If no one is talking about this great book you wrote, it's not going to generate. It's not going to generate the traffic. But as far as like establishing and building your brand, it's really about staying away from the negativity. I would never recommend isolating yourself, because to be honest, with me being in my bubble, I do feel isolated sometimes. I do feel away when I'm not thought about for certain group projects, whereas indie authors, um, me isolating myself has kind of impacted me in a way where it's like I would see an author post something and they would like be lost. And because I have gotten so guarded, I would start to comment, but I'd be like, nah, forget it. I'm not going to say anything, So, but that's why I said I'm trying to put out a video to talk about certain things, because then that way I won't be giving out unsolicited advice. I won't feel a way about commenting. If you come to the page and you get the advice, that's different. So it's like, I would never recommend anybody to isolate themselves, but just be selective and be careful. Trust your intuition about people, about the things that you do. If it don't feel right, if the form of promotion doesn't feel authentic or right to you, or just being in a certain room, because I had to learn that too. Certain spaces that does not align with me and my brand anymore. So I just don't go into them spaces. As far as like book events and stuff like that, it's just all about trial and error and finding out what works for you. Because what she do or he might do, it's not going to work for you, because it's not a one thing to do to get to one place. Everyone has it's so many different paths. It's so many different paths. Like I said, I've been in this for 10 years, and 9 year. I mean, last year was just when I really got my big, I guess you say great, or a lot of attention. I've had books that did good, but nothing like Soul Ties. So you gotta just be patient and trust that if it's for you, it's going to be for you. I've had days where I've cried about my place in the industry. I've sat on my laptop and I've been doubtful, but I kept going. And that's what I mean as far as about as when I say, are you really passionate about it? If you're really passionate about it, you're going to figure out a way to make it work. And you're going to calm down, and you're going to sit there and you're going to write from the heart, not from the space of anybody else. You are your own competitor. Compete with yourself to do better with each release. Really.
I agree with that. I do believe that your next book should be better written than your last. Like, you should always be going up.
Because if you're just stagnant, especially if you're just deciding to stay in a certain area or level because of what that area of whatever has generated for you, you're still constricting yourself. What are you doing as a creative? You're going to stay in that box just because you've been placed in it?
Right.
Like, I understand like money and stuff like that. Everybody's situation is different, but it's okay to evolve. Because I've evolved a lot. My writing has changed a lot. So,
yeah, that's just, yep. I agree with everything you're saying. And I hope that anyone who is watching this and listening are really taking these words to heart and absorbing these gems that she's dropping on us, because everything she's saying is valuable and helpful. So I agree with you. My last question that I have for you is, where would you like to see your writing career in the next year?
Next year? Oh.
Within the next year. A year from now, you want to sit back and be talking about what?
Mahogany Story.
Now, is that something you've announced on your page yet? Mahogany Story?
No.
Oh, exclusive!
No. Everybody knows, like, people know that the Soul Ties series has more.
Okay.
But no one really.
Okay, Mahogany from Soul Ties. All right, now.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a standalone? Do you know if it's?
Well, yeah, because Same was supposed to be a standalone, but I had the brunch last year, and I had to. My time management went bad, to be honest. So I had to have something for the guests that came. So I ended up just breaking it in half. Yeah. So it's gonna be a standalone. I have 2 more books left in the Soul Ties series, and Mahogany is just going to be the last one.
Okay. So
Yeah.
next year, this time, you want to be sitting on someone's platform or your own platform talking about mahogany. I look
Yeah.
forward to that. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that was my last question for the Q&A, and we can open Pandora's box. We're gonna open Pandora's box.